Yo, what up? My last video on this channel actually got some pretty good response, such as it was. The main 2 points of feedback I got were 1, work from a script, and 2, this is all well and good, they say. Sol can run in and reapply pressure over and over again. That's great, but what do? I don't play a character with a run. I don't even have a dash. What can I do to apply this? This doesn't help me. So, alright, let me record this video. I would say there are 3 characters in this game who don't really have a grounded dash or run as such, and those are Potemkin, Ino, and Nagoriyuki. Giovanna and Leo have their own deal, but overall, those 3 are the ones that I would say have this as a limitation. Potemkin, I think, is the most straightforward, so that's what we're going to work with. Let's punch on Sol, and I actually started in Character Select primarily to give you the chance to pause the video. Just always start on your own, because it'll be way more helpful than just getting the answer from someone on YouTube. With that said, what do we got? Well, the fastest option that reaches this distance, 2P. Potemkin's openers are actually pretty good because his limbs just have this level of reach, and 2P, not going to give you a lot of damage, but it is pretty useful. You also got Far Slash, you got 2S, you got 5S, you got a sweep that reaches round start distance. It's pretty good as it happens. Even your dust reaches round start, which, you know, it's slow. I wouldn't rely on that, but it's there. You got your 6K, you got your 5H, you got your Gatlings, no less. So, you know, what's the problem? You got these pokes. What's the complaint? Just work with what you got, right? Well, the problem then, of course, is, so you do something like that. Now what? He has no dash or run. He can't run in. What does he do? Well, already, yeah, we got this issue. What do you do? Well, 5H reaches. But, you know, what do we do? You can't run, but you can walk, yeah? It's slow, but, you know, it's there. And, like, while your opponent will see you coming, this level of inevitability is pretty important. And also, just look at the fact that your tension is, in fact, building up. Already we got enough to do a super, which... Hey, we got something there. So while it's not going to win you matches, this is an option on the table, and you should establish this as a threat. What else we got? Well, we can jump this distance as it happens. You know, Potemkin has pretty good air normals, so he can do a jump slash, he can do a jump K, a jump kick if you will, he can do a jump heavy slash. All options that are good. If your opponent's getting ready to anti-air you, you can just do a regular jump into like a 5H. You can do like a kind of fake out by walking forward and doing a super jump, which will go over a lot of the reactive anti-airs your opponent's doing. So already, without even knowing special moves, again, we got walking, jumping, double jumping, super jumping. Super jump is down up. It gives you more air time. Do the mission mode. With that said, I don't really know why you pick Potemkin if you're not interested in doing something like that. Like, special moves are gonna be where it's at, and that's always kind of by design gonna be something they put in. You know, if they can't dash, you can expect there to be a special move or several special moves that compensate for that limitation, so. This is kind of where it ends for you if you don't want to learn special moves, but, you know, just put in the time. You can do this, and 2S, and 2S, and 2S. You can do that a lot if you want, but, like, you know, you're not going to have fun with it. So, what do we got? Well, as always, the command list is a great resource for this. Covers everything. Potemkin Buster. Oh, forward. Put a note on that. Forward. Sounds good. Slide head. Doesn't look like it moves us forward, but put a pin in it. And Hammerfall. Hammerfall break. This is where we're going next. So, we got this. Hammerfall for Potemkin goes full screen as it happens. meaning that while it's slow, you have this, and it even absorbs a hit for you, which is important. So while it's slow, and your opponent can see it coming, combining this with just, walking forward, your opponent is never quite sure when the hammerfall is coming. And you can always just jump to capitalize on the wariness, so already we're getting somewhere. Also, if your opponent sees the hammerfall coming and you're doing the hammerfall, you can break. So this lets you sort of micro-space in a way that a regular dash could. And you can actually do it pretty fast. The main downside is that it's slow, but it's definitely something to incorporate. So already, right? We got a really fast forward movement option. Not that fast, but it's there. We got jumps, we got walks. What are we even really lacking at that point, to be honest? No joke, you kind of have the tools you need to cover this distance. It's not perfect. You do have a limitation in terms of your approach. Everything is kind of predictable. You have a very linear set of approach options, but they are there for you, and that's the important part. Always focus on this. Always focus on what you have. But, we have the Mega Fist. Doesn't reach this distance, but can we walk forward a little bit? We can. What happens if we do, 2S instead? Does that reach? It does. So, cool. We can do this, and then they might feel safe. Cool, Mega Fist. Awesome. And this is the type of thinking to work with. Always think about this. Always think about what your options are. What do I have? What can your opponent do about it? What can I do about my opponent doing something about what I have? So, ultimately speaking, why I wanted to put a pin in Slidehead is that while it's not a movement option, it doesn't move you anywhere. It does knock your opponent down, which opens up an opportunity for you. If you're scared what your opponent's going to do if you do this, or if you do this, both of which are manageable attacks, you can always do a Slidehead and then immediately go into something like that. Knock them down, do a Hammerfall break, and then sort of go in for the mix-up. It's pretty strong, actually. So now you're here. This is a great distance for Potemkin to be at. Now you can establish the Potemkin Buster. You have all the tools, really. All it comes down to is where you want to feel strong and where you want your opponent to be and where you want your options to be. Once your opponent figures out an option to deal with your strongest tools, you can sort of cycle them. And Seijai makes some great videos on that. Shout out there. Doesn't need my shout out, but there you are. And I think I'm gonna leave you there with that. Always focus on what you can do. It's a mentality thing that's way more important than any given set of options you can ever get access to. Any combo you learn is never going to be as important as this. The mentality to put yourself in these positions and check what your options are, because that's priceless. That's how you start to win. Treat it a bit like a puzzle game, if that helps. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. As always, feedback is appreciated. I'm making these mostly for fun, and if you want more videos on topics or different characters, then just say the word. Always just focus on what you can do. I'm gonna keep repeating it because it's important. And have fun. See you all next time.